First of all, let me say something real quick, y'all. I want to apologize to Kenny, about the lighting issue that I had when I was recording. I had my shades on like this, and when I'm looking at my screen, I couldn't tell that it was blinded. The shade from the sun was in his face. So when I raised up my shades to wipe myself because it was really hot outside and sweating, I realized the camera wasn't focusing on him as good as it should have. That's the reason that he turned around and was able to see it. So my apologies to you for that, Kenny. And I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate you giving me that little interview. And everybody, man, check out the video. Check it out, man. Somebody from Tulsa, one of our own, a legendary dude, man, in my eyes anyway. Done it the right way. Y'all give him a shout out on all the social medias. He's easy to find, Boo Monday. And once again, thanks, Kitty. I appreciate it. And that's my fault on the lighting, man. Your boy Gordon from Gordon's World. I'm gone. All right, so here we go. Today on my channel, it's your boy. Let me turn it around first. Today on the channel, you got your boy Gordon from Gordon's World. And I ran into a legendary dude from the town of Tulsa. One of the best athletes, period, to get down in our town, or just period in the country, in his heyday, in his time. And still top flight shape, look like to me. So I'll let him introduce himself to you. And if you don't know, he's an Olympic gold medalist. And I'll let y'all guys listen to what he has to say and give him a little background on his history and how he came up doing what he does. And if you don't know, you will when this is over with. There you go.
What's up, fam? What's up, everybody? This is Kenny Monday. Born and raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Went to Booker T. Washington. Grew up right down the street from where we're taking this interview. My dad still lives up there on the corner up there. So come out the hood, man. This is the hood. This is what you see right now. This is what we call the hood. You ask anybody in Tulsa, they'll tell you. If they ask you where you grew up, they say the hood, you know what they're talking about, right? So like I said, when I grew up here, since I was born and went to Oklahoma State University, national champion, NCAA champion, 3-time All-American. Went on to make my first Olympic team in 1988, Olympic gold medalist in 1988, Olympic silver medalist in 1992. Came back in 96 and made another Olympic team, got 5th place in the Olympics. And so, just doing my thing, man. Now I'm coaching in Ohio, called Spire Academy. It's a boarding school, private school, and so just trying to get kids to that next level, man. So just really doing my thing, still in the sport, still inspiring, trying to raise kids up. Just trying to live my legacy.
So I got a question for you. What was it like your first time in your first match in the Olympics? Who was your first match in the Olympics?
I had 8 matches in the 1988 Olympic Games.
I was actually in high school when you did that, so that's why I remember that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, the first match was against Great Britain, and I beat that dude 12-0, and had 8 straight matches to the final, 7 matches before the finals, and ran through the tournament pretty solidly. I think in the semifinal round, I beat the guy from Finland, 7-1, and then went into overtime against the defending world champion Alumni from the Soviet Union.
Yeah, that's the Russian guy, right?
The Russian guy, yeah. And beat him in overtime. It was 2-2. We went in overtime, and I took him down to his back for 3 points, and so ended up winning that match 5-2 in the 1988 Olympic Games. So.
Let me ask you another question about the Olympics.
Yeah.
What was the living situation like? I always wondered. I mean, I ain't no Olympic athlete. Right, we can all know that. Right. But I always wondered what was the recruiting process as far as like being accommodated while you were over. Where was it at in '88?
It was Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, Korea. That's what I thought in Korea. So, what was the the living facilities and all that like back in those
what
days?
They have in the Olympics, they call it the Olympic Village. And there's a lot of stories going to be told about the Olympic Village.
That's I ain't asked you to tell none of them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't asked you to tell none of them. I just wanted to know what it was like, But I can imagine some of the stories.
I got a few stories to tell. But yeah, the Olympic Village is where all the Olympic athletes from all the countries, from all over the world, are housed, and they're like little apartments. And so they put all the teams are right there in the village. And so what's cool about it is that we have just a open cafeteria where all the athletes go to eat.
Yeah.
And so you get to see all the athletes from all the other countries. You can see your competitors who's in your weight class. You see all the athletes. They got to go eat, right? So they all kind of meet at the Olympic training cafeteria, so to speak. So I remember in the 1988 games, I was coming out from having lunch one day, and I ran into Ben Johnson, right? So Ben Johnson, that year he beat Carl Lewis.
That's the sprinter.
That's the sprinter from Canada, right?
Yeah.
He beat Carl Lewis in the finals of the Olympic Games, and I was at that race. I was right there, 50-yard line, so I saw the race, right? So it was a tough race. It's heartbreaking. But I met Ben coming out, like 5 days before he ran for the finals, and he beat Carl Lewis in the finals. But of course, a couple days later, he got busted for steroids.
I know you never had any issues with PDEs, whatever that.
I've always been a clean athlete, man.
Yeah.
And, it's something that I take a lot of pride in. Never tested positive for any kind of drugs or any kind of stimulants or anything like that. It's all natural, man. All natural, hard work, dedication, and blessings from God, man. That's where I come from.
Absolutely, I believe fully in it. I also, in your second Olympics, you say you took the silver.
Right.
I actually thought you won myself. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the only reasons I was young. I even watched the Olympics. I was like, damn, he from the town. I gotta watch that. You know what I mean? So that's it. Like say you stay right around the corner, right here from just like I stayed on the other side of Cincinnati, which now is Martin Luther King, but to me it'd always be Cincinnati, and you lived on this side over here, and whether people believe it or say it, you was kind of like a hero around here for all the accolades and stuff you did, as far as going from high school being undefeated in wrestling. Now we ain't talking about the WWE or nothing like that, but as an amateur wrestler and being undefeated, and then going to OSU and give them the journey of how you made the decision to go from Booker T. Washington to OSU to wrestle for OSU. And I know you was like a world athlete, so everybody wants to recruit you.
Right. No, I grew up in the sport, man, and so I think going back, and I'll talk a little bit about the 92 Olympic Games, but it was always my dream, I think since I was 10 years old, to be the best in the world, right? So when I first saw what the Olympics was all about in 1972, I was 10 years old, right? So I'd always been wrestling for a few years. I started wrestling at the YMCA. Hutchinson Branch YMCA when I was 5 years old. And when I got 10, it was in 1972, I saw the Olympic Games. And they had it all on ABC News. I don't know if you remember, it was on Wide World Sports.
Yeah.
The thrill of victory and agony of defeat.
Howard Cosell and all that.
Exactly. So Dan Gable was probably the biggest name in the sport of wrestling. So they did a big segment on him, right? He talked about his training and methods and that whole thing. And he ended up winning a gold medal in 1972. And so did Wayne Wells, which Wayne Wells went to the University of Oklahoma, went to OU. And so I was watching him as a kid growing up, got his autograph and that whole thing. And so that exposed me to the sport. So I was exposed to greatness when I was a little kid, man. So I realized that you could go to the Olympic Games in the sport of wrestling. And so I remember coming back after that, man, and telling my parents, man, I want to be an Olympic champion. I want to be the best in the world in the sport of wrestling. And so that's kind of where my journey started, man, and I never looked back. Never looked back, and just kept training, kept working hard, kept my dream alive, kept my vision, and I got the opportunity to make 3 Olympic Games. So in 1992, made my second Olympic Games, the second Olympic team, and got to the finals, man, and I lost in the finals by 1 point. It was the only point I gave up the whole tournament. I shut out all my previous opponents in the tournament, and people don't know this, but it's not an excuse, it's just a fact that I dislocated my elbow probably 5 days before the tournament started. So I was wrestling kind of with literally one arm, and I ended up losing in the final seconds of 1992 Olympic finals, so I ended up getting silver.
Instead of having a back-to-back.
Right. So that was a tough one, but yeah. And then so I came back in '96 and made another Olympic team, and ended up getting 5th in that tournament. So,
yeah, that's it. Well, from that journey, going through college, what was your record in college?
My record in college, of course, my record in Oklahoma in high school, I was undefeated. 140.
Yeah, we know that.
And actually never lost a match from the 7th grade to the 12th grade. I was undefeated, never lost a match, right? So then went to Oklahoma State, got recruited from everybody all over the country. Wanted to stay in the state of Oklahoma, right? Just an Oklahoma kid. Went to Oklahoma State, and my dream was, of course, to be the NCAA champ, right? So went to Oklahoma State. You know, a lot of history at Oklahoma State, and ended up going there, and you know, just had a great career, had great teammates, and I got tied one time when I was a senior in high school.
What was your
guy that tied me was Mike Sheets. I was 140-0-1, and so I got tied. Had one match tied at Booker T. Washington High School against Mike Sheets, and he ended up being my teammate. Recruited him to Oklahoma State. He came to Oklahoma State. He was my teammate for the next 5 years. So he was actually one of my best workout partners going to the '98 Olympic Games as well. So you know, Mike Sheets was a teammate.
Once you finished college, I always wanted to know this.
Right.
How did you train once you graduated college or finished college, finished your 4 years at OSU?
Right.
How did you stay training? They have training academies, they have places that you went to, facilities and things like that. And of course people will want to know, being an amateur athlete in those days, it's not like the NIH, how they get the money now. You know, how were you able to survive through that, through small, you know, small little, I guess, endorsements and things like that? How was that able to go about?
It was tough, you know, it was tough. I was at Oklahoma State. I went to Arizona State, but after I finished at Oklahoma State in 1984, I actually went to Arizona State and coached out there for a couple of years. But then I decided to come back to Oklahoma State just because I was getting to get better training and get better workout partners. So I came back to Oklahoma State in 1987, and then was on staff. I was coaching at Oklahoma State, one of the coaches, and then training there right there at Oklahoma State as well. So that was a tough, man. It was a tough. At that point, we were still considered amateurs, and so you really couldn't make a whole lot of
revenue and money and stuff.
Yeah, money in the sport, right?
Yeah.
That changed. Of course, it changed now. But I had to get sponsorships, man. I had to go around. You know, the city of Tulsa had a lot of people in Tulsa actually help me out. You know, as far as
you want to give a few of those people a good shout out right now.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you can remember. We don't want nobody to feel left out, because then he didn't say nothing about me. You know,
it's been a people, they know who they are.
Yeah, let's do it. Leave it like that.
You know, family. You know, just friends. You know, just anybody that wanted to help was helping, right? And so that's kind of what we did, man. Tulsa was a big influence on my life. I had a lot of friends, a lot of family that helped me out, and just people in businesses helped me out too as well. And just Oklahoma State, you know, helped me out. Had my sponsor, the team I wrestled for, Sun-Kissed Kids.
Why don't you let's spin around here so you can get in the sun right here, so I can see you a little bit. I think that the sun is blocking your face. I want everybody to be able to see you, or you can back up into. I was
through the interview.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was the camera, but yeah, it's the sun was starting to bring the shade down on you. I want everybody to be able to see you clearly. So it's my fault, y'all, if it's a little shade on there. I want everybody to see who he is and everything like that.
Beautiful day in Tulsa, man. It's kind of hot.
Yeah, it's a little warm.
80 degrees.
It's a little warm for sure.
But yeah, I'm about to get my hair cut, man. I'm about to get my hair cut at Quality Cuts.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, let me put that up there. Yeah, quality cuts. It's the neighborhood. This is most definitely the neighborhood.
Where I grew up as a kid, right? So, but yeah, man, just like I was saying, I had my Olympic sponsor, my main Olympic sponsor was Art Martori, which runs the Sun-Kissed Kids wrestling club. And so they was really my sponsor. Really helped me out through that process. And but it was hard work, man. Hard work and a lot of dedication. But you know, we got it done. We got it done.
Now, what are you doing as far as like with the culture of wrestling now? How's it changed to you?
You know, it's changed just, I think, just with social media. You know, social media has kind of really changed the game, and now that it really kind of opened it up. Like, I came through in the 80s, in the late 80s, and then they started allowing athletes to make more money and get more endorsements and that kind of thing. So that kind of opened up, right? So when I came through, we kind of set the course for the next generation coming after us.
Well, it's always got to be, somebody got to take that fall to make everybody else rise.
Right. So we kind of opened up the floodgates a little bit. So now these guys are making a lot more money, you know. And I got two boys wrestling. And my youngest kid, Quincy, wrestles at Princeton University. He's at Princeton. He's a junior. Well, now he's a senior. Just finished his junior season. Became an All-American this year. Got second in the NCAA tournament, and we're very proud of Quincy, man. He's got one more year, and he made it to the NCAA finals this year. And he came into the tournament seeded fifth, got second, but he's got one more year. And check this out: the NCAA tournament next year, 2023, is right here in the city of Tulsa, right down the street.
To be okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I didn't know that.
Anybody that's a wrestling fan, you don't even have to be a wrestling fan, but just a fan, right, of what we do. I mean, all my kids were born in Tulsa. So my oldest daughter was born. Sydney, Kennedy finished his career at UNC, University of North Carolina. He's still training. And then Quincy's got one more year, but they were all born right here in Tulsa, right? So now the game has changed, and so now we got the opportunity to get more sponsorship and more money for these young kids coming up, and then hopefully Quincy will kind of, he may shoot for the Olympics in 2024. So anybody that's out there that's interested in supporting, get a hold of me, DM me, social media. You can find me.
Yeah, leave them on your social media.
Yeah, Blue Monday is my. Everybody, if you're from Tulsa, you know my name is
Well,
Boo, right?
they know everybody know you as Kenny Boo, but it'll be more than people just from Tulsa to see.
It's like, Kenny? Kenny who? Kenny Boo. Oh yeah, I know Kenny Boo. I know Kenny Boo.
Yeah.
Right, so everybody know Boo is my name, right? So everybody from Tulsa, they know Boo is my name. But yeah, so that's who I am, man. But you can always find me. My goal and my job now is to sell the dream, man. I'm living the dream. Wrestling's taking me all over the world, and it's giving me a platform to reach as many kids as I can. And that's what I'm doing. I'm coaching and just inspiring the next generation, man. We got a lot of life to live, man, but it's a lot out there, and so we really got to inspire these kids to be better, do better. There's a lot going on in the world, man, and so heartbroken about what happened in Texas with this shooting and everything, man. It just breaks your heart to see that kind of stuff. So we got to be better, man. We got to raise these kids, man. We got to raise these kids, raise this next generation to be honorable, to be respectful. It's about love, man. There's so much hate that goes on in the world today. The devil thinks he's winning. The devil ain't winning, man. He ain't gonna win, right?
Yeah,
he's trying to take as many as he can with him, but just got to stay prayerful, man, and stay faithful, and we'll get through.
Absolutely, you got to stay prayed up and stand on what you believe in.
That's right. That's right.
That's it. I got a question too. I always wonder, how many different countries have you wrestled in?
Man, that's a great question. I've been all over the world, man. I've been probably to 38 different countries. And,
wow.
Yeah. And probably the toughest one is in Russia, right? Russia, as we know, they've always been the toughest guys in the sport of wrestling. So that's kind of been the toughest one we've gone to. But I've been to Cuba, man. Cuba's an incredible place. Cuba and Japan.
You went to Cuba
London.
before?
Yeah, I've been to Cuba about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. Man, so, you done seen what I want to see.
I like athletes over there. I like wrestlers. So I've been all over the world, man, and I ain't done. I'm gonna continue to try to spread this message of faith and hard work and vision of greatness, man. That's the vision I had as a kid. And that's the vision that I'm trying to put.
So what are you doing at the present time? I mean, you mentioned the academy where you was teaching at. So what do you do right now?
I just moved to Ohio, Geneva, Ohio, and I'm running just a brand new program. It's called Spire Academy. And it's in Geneva, Ohio. It's a boarding school, prep school, and but it's kind of like an Olympic village, right? So we got basketball. LaMelo Ball played there his senior year in high school.
Yeah, it's kind of like guys who are elite athletes. Then they want to, instead of maybe go to college, they shoot there and play their prep year, and then they have that extra year like that.
It's not for all the elites. You will have some elite kids, but it's for anybody that want to have a vision of trying to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And my goal is to get kids into college, right? Give them that experience, and that teaching that'll get them to that next level. So it's in Geneva, Ohio. You can go on the webpage. It's called Spire Academy, Spire Institute. And but if you got any questions, you can find me. I'm easy to find. And but yeah, I'm coaching prep school, 9 through 12 grades. It's a high school boarding school.
Is this your first year?
Yeah, it's my first year. Okay. So we also have a post-grad program, right? So kids that need that extra year of training, that extra year of maturity. I've got a program for you, so you can come to Spire Academy. Year after high school, that post-grad year, gap year, and I'll train you and get you ready for the next level and really market you for that next level. But then eventually we'll have it'll be a training center for people that are trying to make that Olympic world team too. So we got athletes that will be trying to make the world team, world teams.
So in essence, you trying to make it easier for them than what you had it when you was coming up. You just like, hey, I'm fit to get you open the door for you guys, and look, follow this blueprint, and the rest you just have to put the work in to get there.
You said the right thing. You said the right thing. It's the blueprint. Yeah. You know, I think I got the blueprint. I know I got.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you got it. Ain't no thinking to it. You got it.
I got the blueprint, right? So yeah, so just trying to sell the dream, man, and get kids ready for the next level. And again, if it was me growing up and I had an opportunity to go to an academy to be coached and mentored by an world Olympic champion, I would have taken that opportunity. And so it ain't for everybody, but for kids that feel like they can it's gonna help them, I think it's a great place.
Do you have a foundation or anything?
We don't have a foundation now. We kind of working on it, right? I don't have a foundation, but you know, I do help a lot of kids, and we got a lot of different programs that we can set kids up for. So I'm always willing to help, reach out to me, see if I can help.
Now, I know that you're being an alumni. You know, I went to Thomas Edison myself, but you know, I know that you
went to school with Spencer.
Well, he was a few years older than me, so you know he was gone by the time I got there. But you know, I know that you reach back down. You know, it's kind of hard because kids, like you say, social media, everything is taking a different turn than it was when we were younger. But I also, do you go back to Booker T, and do they have you come back and speak? Because actually, the principal there is my first cousin.
Is that right?
Yeah, Miss. I always call her Missy first, but her last name's not first. She's married now, so I'll get in touch with her and ask her. But Woodward, her last name Melissa Woodward is the principal there. And do they ever contact you to get you to come back and get the guys, you know, the girls, the kids, a motivational speech to try to show them that, hey, it's more to Tulsa, the north side of Tulsa. It's a whole world out there, and you got to take the opportunity to see it.
You know, I was here. I was here probably a few weeks ago, and I had the opportunity to go in. I was with Mickey Collins, as a matter of fact. You know, you guys know Mickey Collins. So me and Mickey kind of went to school together. So Mickey was headed in, and so I went in to Booker T to see the floor. So the court, they named the court Kenny Monday Wayman Tisdale Court. Right. So it was the first time I got a chance to see the court.
Yeah.
So I went in and saw the court, man. So it was really just an amazing tribute, amazing honor to have the court, Booker T. Washington, named after me, and Wayman Tisdale. You know, Wayman we came through the same time, and probably one of the best dudes I've ever known in my life, as far as just the human being that he was, man, and one of the, like I said, one of the best dudes I've ever known. And so it's an honor to be on the court with Wayman, and to have that honor bestowed on us. So I got a chance to go see that. It had been around, but I really haven't had a chance to get back as much to talk to the students. I came back when they did the ring honor.
Yeah.
And they honored us for that, so I came back for that. But they don't have a wrestling program, so that's a problem.
What? They didn't let that go?
They don't have a wrestling program. And so we, you know, of course, when I was wrestling, we won 4 state titles.
Yeah.
And so hopefully at some point they'll start a wrestling program back up. I know what it's done for me. I know what it's done for my teammates. I know what it's done for my kids, my individual kids. So it's just a great sport, man. I think every kid needs to wrestle. It's like to me, it's a self-defense. I know for a fact.
It's self-defense for sure.
Right?
It's self-defense for sure. I wrestled for some years as a youngster. I want to give a shout out to Coach John Nix from TNT. That was my guy when I grew up. Yeah, no, he taught us a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody didn't go on to keep wrestling. People did different things, but you always took what he taught you as a little kid, and it stuck with you. You may not have known it, but as you became an adult and got older, you look back at those things. It absolutely helps you.
Those skills last a lifetime, man. And it is truly a self-defense, right? It helped me a lot on the playground. You can ask anybody to come up. Anybody can come up in Tulsa.
Yeah, ain't
on
too
playgrounds
many
with Boo Monday. They know that I wasn't to be bullied, right? So it's a self-defense, man. And I know that a lot of kids that don't have the opportunity, and if they're not being to play football or basketball or whatever, wrestling is one of the greatest sports that you can ever be a part of. Those skills will last a lifetime. So absolutely. But I'm always available, man. I wouldn't say always available, but I'm always willing to help and give back to the next generation, because I know how important it is. I know how crucial it is to give these kids hope, man, and give them some direction and vision of being better than they were before, right? So I'm always willing. So
inspiration comes from all different places.
Right.
It doesn't have to always come from your mother, your father. They do the best that they possibly can. It can come from the guy across the street or somebody on social media. As long as it's a positive outlook, I think it's the best way. You know, we all, not you, I'm not speaking for you, I'm speaking for myself, been steered in different directions, but as you make left and right turns, you figure out the straight line is the best way.
Well, it's your foundation. And people ask me all the time, you know, what helps me throughout my life. There's a foundation that was laid upon me when I started wrestling at the YMCA. I mean, just the principles and the foundation that I learned from the YMCA and the Mabee Center down the street, the Red Shield that was around the corner, that the leaders that we had at that time, we had great leaders. We had great leaders that were teaching people how to be leaders, right? Yeah. This neighborhood I grew up in taught me a lot. Great neighborhood, great kids. Anybody that knows me know I grew up right here, and I learned a lot of lessons in this neighborhood, right? So it's a big world out there, man. But as a people, if we are taught the right things and led in the right direction, ain't nothing we can't do. Ain't nothing we can't achieve. That's to be proven, right? And so I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it. But it's a big world, man. There's a lot out there. But we got a lot of great kids coming up, a lot of great people coming up. But we can be better.
Yeah. Okay, well, I ain't gonna hold you up too long. I know you have to get a haircut and all that, but I walked out of here. Let me give Nana a shot. I walked out of there and I saw you sitting. Yeah, I seen you.
You not sit in front of my shop.
Yeah, she didn't know who you was.
In front of my shop.
She didn't know who you was, so I that's all it was. But I appreciate you taking the time out, man, to share it with the people and let people know that's from Tulsa. Hey, man, it's more to the world than the streets, than the left, the right. You know, education is key, and all of this was possible for him because he went to college.
That's right.
You know, he wouldn't have been able to do all these things had he not furthered his education. So, you know, I didn't graduate from college, but I went, but I always say, any knowledge that you can get is the best knowledge, because they can take your freedom, they can take your life, but they can never take the knowledge that you learn through life experiences, period.
Man. That's true, and that's the foundation that we lay, man. And again, you know, it's important that we give as much as we take, right? I was raised by a friend, Elizabeth Monday, man. My parents, man, they brought me up to always be a giver, right? And I always try to give back, and I always try to give as much as you take. Yeah. And that's kind of the life I lived, and kind of the foundation that was laid upon me. I grew up in Vernon AME, it's still right down on Greenwood, and you know, it's so amazing to see you know, people find out about, you know, Black Wall Street and Greenwood, right? Because that's where we grew up. That's our history. That's our legacy. And so it's really good to see people that didn't even know about, you know, the massacre of 1921 on Black Wall Street. But that's our legacy. That's how we grew up. That's what motivated me to be great, as I saw the greatness that came before me. And so we can't forget that. We can't forget that. And I give a shout out to my little nephews, my brothers, grandsons, EJ and Trey. EJ's graduating tonight from Casher Hall, and that's kind of why I'm in town. To watch EJ graduate tonight.
Tell EJ I said what's up and thank you and congratulations. Because I got to interview your uncle, and I appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I just wanted to, man, stop. Like I said, I don't want to take up no more time. I know we could probably go on and on and on, but you know, people on YouTube, they don't have they have a real short attention span. So, but I just wanted everybody to know I'm sweating, y'all. So y'all gotta forgive me. It's hot out here. We both hot. I appreciate Kenny giving me the opportunity and chance to just talk to him for a minute and let everybody know, man, we all from Tulsa. It don't make, you know, he know my family. We grew up right around the corner from me. And I just wanted to stop and say, man, I appreciate it. You was a solid dude. I greatly appreciate everything you did for the community and everybody around here. A lot of people don't probably know you, but man, y'all look him up, check him out. He was a beast, straight up beast in what he did, and that's for sure, man. He's still a beast, and he teaching young guys and where's that again? In Ohio. And giving
I'm all over the world, man.
He's everywhere.
I'm all over the world.
It ain't just
everywhere.
one place he at. He all over the place.
All
So
over,
I would appreciate it, man. I really do, man. And once again, it's your boy Gordon from Gordon's World for life, man. Thank you, Kenny. I really appreciate it, man. I really do. Thank you. All right. Gordon from Gordon's World for life. Guess what? Oh, wait a minute. One more thing. Yo, Ben, get over it, man. TNT, you got pinned. And yes, I made a mistake too. It's my cousin, Dr. Let me repeat, Dr. Melissa Woods. So yeah, it's your boy Gordon from Gordon's World for life. I'm gone.